Hello everyone, Gear Show and Teller here. Call me Teller for short. Before I continue on with today's knife, I forgot all about this. This knife is a Byrd Cara with a uniquely shaped blade. This is the Byrd Cara 1 though. You can see it right there. There's no 2 on it. FRN handle, but this has the rescue blade. I forgot all about this. Why? This is in my truck. I keep this blade in my truck. It's not pointed. It's a Wharncliffe blade. Wharncliffe. W-H-A-R-N. Wharncliffe blade. It's meant, also known as a rescue blade. Now, the idea of this shape here is so that you don't poke yourself. I can feel the point here, but it makes it harder to truly stab yourself. This would be used like a rescue blade to cut your seatbelt off. I forgot all about it. This stays in my truck, so I wanted to show it to all of you here that they even made a rescue blade. Sheep's foot, Wharncliffe, rescue blade, they're all the same thing. And you can see right there. Right there. HCR13 MOV. Okay, now the next knife. I saw this knife in a Knife magazine ad. That ad is now gone because this knife is old. And when I saw the ad, I wanted this knife. I truly did. I wanted it, and I saved up my money until I got it. So first, you can see here, Dark Ops fighting knives. I wanted a fighting knife. Oh yes, I did. It's a pretty big box. The knife is a whole lot smaller than this. This is a tactical folding knife. There you go. The finest tactical fighting knives in history. If you want to read that, you can freeze it. I'll slowly move it down here. You can probably already tell from my voice. This knife didn't impress me as much as the ad would have me believe. Okay, let's get into it then. Right there. The name of the knife is the Stratofighter. The Stratofighter, I was immediately drawn to that knife. Drawn to that name because I don't know actually. This was about 200 bucks. The very first real expensive knife I ever bought. It's a folding knife, and this is one long, oh, wrong way, excuse me, this way. This is one long mamma jamma. There we go. Stratofighter. It has a grip here. So if you're going barehanded or you have a glove on, you have good grip of the knife. Pocket clip. This pocket clip, I'll just say right away, made it impossible for pocket carry. Because the way it grips on here, it's just, it tears up my pocket. It's so tight. And that is, yes, that is a window breaker. There. Window breaker right there. Pop. The opening, it is very smooth. There is no doubt that it's smooth. Look at this drop point with the upsweep of the cutting edge. Cobalt, tungsten, vanadium. That's the stainless steel used for it. I'm not sure if the coating, black coating here is DLC, diamond light coating. That is CTV2 USA. So American made. If you've never heard of this knife, I don't blame you. Oh, there's even serrations there. You can tell right there. If you've never heard of this knife or this knife company, the knife company is Dark Ops. Never heard of it? I don't blame you. Here's what it is. The owner, maker of this knife, used to work for a European company called Extrema Ratio. I'm not sure, I'm not very keen on the pronunciation. Extrema Ratio. He split up from this company, and if you take a look at their knives, this knife is very similar to it. Very similar. I have not brought this into battle, obviously. I just wanted the knife. The ad was so beautiful. Well, here, back lock. You can see it right there. This point right here, if I push down here, it locks it. So the back lock never go wrong way, this way. So man, see, I had problems with that. It's supposed to get in the way. There we go. And it will never open. Oh boy, look at this sucker. Oh wait, that's why. There we go. There we go. Now, I can't push it down. So it's supposed to have the strength of a fixed blade once that lock is deployed, operated. Ruler time. This is a big. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. There's no doubt about it. Right there. And then the other part of the handle right there. Full grip. They made a covert version of this. It's smaller. This is a 4-inch blade. Now, back to the story. So the guy used to work with the owner of Extrema Ratio. He broke off with the company for whatever reason. I think it was a business reason. And he started this one. He made Dark Ops. And he made ridiculously high-priced combat, quote, combat knives. Once I got it in hand, of course, still being the knife newbie, this sucker was God. This was godly. Oh yeah, it was so good. That's how it was in my mind. And then I finally started to learn more about knives later on. And I'll just tell you about it now, because it was much later on after I got this knife that I found out. Some of the tool marks. I don't know if my camera's good enough to pick it up. See right there? That should be smooth. The Dark Ops wasn't quite popular. It couldn't compete with the Extrema Ratio, the one who has the original designs of this kind of knife. This Raptor lock always kept coming off. I meant that the peg comes off. Always find myself screwing that sucker back in. Smooth opening though, very smooth opening. There's no doubt about it. Because this was my first high-priced knife, I just don't want to sell it. I'll never get rid of it. But it's not something I would carry. This has one specific purpose, and that's for battle. If you look it up, Stratofighter, there's a review. There's a very detailed review of this knife. Even talks about the history that I was talking about just now. After reading that, after comparing it with the knife I have, the review is pretty sound. The fit and finish, it's not worth the price. It's not worth the price I paid for it. If this was a $150 knife instead of the 200 plus it sells for, then this would be good enough for the money. But 200 plus, no. I'd rather go buy another Police 3. Oh, by the way, I can do that now. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's the Police 3. Here is the Stratofighter. Then let's open up this sucker. Remember, this knife is made for battle. And it can fulfill that role. I believe it can fulfill the role. But there's a better brand out there, Extrema Ratio, that does it better. There we go. Okay, I think that's a good comparison. Okay, so Dark Ops, Stratofighter, plain edge, combo edge, made for battle, combat knife. If the zombie apocalypse ever happens, well, I'm gonna test that knife out pretty soon, aren't I? Alright, Gear Show and Teller, signing off.